Hello and Namaste. I welcome you to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I passed the CAPM certification exam in 15 days. The topics that I'm going to cover in this video are reading materials for Project Management Institute's CAPM certification exam, how I prepared for PMI's CAPM certification exam, the sections I focused on, question types asked in the CAPM certification exam, tactics to remember and revise what you read, computer settings that must be adjusted for exam day, the CAPM certification result format, CAPM exam fees, and where to find more information. Let's move forward now. But before we move forward, please do not forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. First of all, I'm going to talk about what reading materials I followed to prepare for CAPM certification exam. To be honest, I followed the 6th edition of PMBOK guide, which is available on the website of Project Management Institute. The link to the website is available in the description below. In the near future, they are going to launch the 7th edition of the PMBOK guide. In that case, just make sure to follow the 7th edition or whatever the latest edition is. I will explain the reason behind this in more detail later in this video. Apart from the 6th edition of the PMBOK guide, I randomly visited a couple of websites available on Google and also a couple of videos on YouTube. The main idea was to familiarize myself with the possible questions in CAPM certification exam. You may be wondering if only these materials are sufficient to pass CAPM certification exam, right? Don't spend money on additional material available online or anywhere else. Just stick to the latest edition of PMBOK guide. That should be sufficient for you to pass the CAPM certification exam with the highest grade, just as I did. There are two parts in the PMBOK guide. The first one is the guide to the project management body of knowledge, PMBOK guide, and the second part is the standard for project management. In each part, there are 13 chapters. Here is a useful tip for you. For the CAPM certification exam, you don't have to read all the chapters in both the parts. For the CAPM certification exam, only reading the first 13 chapters in part 1 is going to be sufficient. But if you want to gain additional knowledge and be more confident, you are free to study the second part also. It also depends on how much time you have got. Now I'm going to talk about what you really need to focus on when you're reading the PMBOK guide. The first thing that you need to focus on is the definitions. For example, the definitions of the project itself, or it could be the definition of sponsor. The second thing that you want to learn is about the new terminologies that you come across. For example, business value. Just try to remember the meaning of the new terminology that you come across. The third thing you want to focus on is the example of the new terminology or a definition. The fourth thing that you must be clear about is the concepts of inputs, tools and techniques, and outputs. You must be able to identify what are inputs, what are tools and techniques, and what are outputs. When you are reading through the PMBOK guide, you will come across several processes just like this one. You must remember the definition of all these processes. Apart from the definition, it is also necessary to remember key benefit of all the processes. And finally, don't miss the considerations for agile adaptive environments. Now I am going to talk about what questions they might ask in the CAPM certification exam. To guess the questions they might ask, you need to refer to a document called CAPM exam content outline. There are 13 chapters in this content outline, and they have also mentioned the percentage of questions which will be asked from each chapter. When you compare the CAPM exam content outline with the PMBOK guide, you will notice that the chapters in PMBOK guide match with the exam content outline. For example, project scope management in CAPM exam content outline matches exactly with project scope management in the PMBOK guide. From the CAPM exam content outline, you can see that they might ask questions involving calculations from chapter number 11 and chapter number 6. To be able to answer all the questions correctly, I suggest you to read all the chapters from the PMBOK guide that matches with the exam content outline. It is quite obvious that reading the entire book and remembering everything from that book is not quite possible. So I used one technique to remember as much as possible. I used PDF file of the PMBOK guide to study. I did not make any paper notes. I just used the functionality of the Microsoft Edge to help myself in the preparation. What I did was I used the highlight feature of the Microsoft Edge and highlighted everything that was new to me. Microsoft Edge allows you to highlight the same text multiple times. To make something stand out, you can highlight the same text more than once. For example, in this case, I'm highlighting mega project more than once. You can see the color is becoming more prominent now. I followed the same method again and again throughout my study period. And when I finished the chapter, then I quickly went through all the highlighted texts. This is how I remembered most of the terminologies and definitions. So far as the test is concerned, you can either choose a designated venue or you can choose to take the test from your home also. If you are taking a test at a center or at a designated place, just make sure that you get there on time and follow their instructions. But if you are taking the test on your computer from your home, then there are certain settings that you must adjust before you sit for the test. Just before your test begins, don't forget to disable the Windows Firewall settings and the VPN settings. I'm showing you how to do that. Click on the search bar, type firewall, then you will see firewall network protection. Go there and a new window will open. Just wait. Okay, now you have to disable all these three: domain network, private network and public network. Go over there, turn it off, say yes. Now Windows Defender Firewall has turned off. Click on the firewall again. Now go to private network, turn it off and say yes. Click on firewall and network protection again and go to private network, go to public network and turn this off as well. Just say yes. Now all the firewalls are off. One more setting that needs to be changed is VPN. Just go to the search bar and type VPN. Okay, and go to VPN settings and then turn off both these options. Now you are good to go. If you do not turn these off, you will not be able to take the exam from home. Please like this video so that you can save it in your history to refer to on the exam day. Also, do not forget to turn them back on when you have finished the examination. Otherwise, you will leave your computer vulnerable to attack. On exam day, focus on what you know. Be confident. Don't worry about making mistakes. There is no negative marking. If you start worrying, you may get nervous and you are more likely to make mistakes. Eliminate the most irrelevant answers when you do not know the exact answer. You can always come back to the question that you have already answered. In the end, the system will ask you to review your answers. You can change your answers then if you have any doubt. The Project Management Institute will give you this kind of insight into your performance in the PMI's Certified Associate in Project Management exam. PMI also has a grading system. Fortunately, I managed to pass with above target grade despite preparing for only 15 days. I guess I should consider myself lucky. And this is the certificate that they issue after you have passed the PMI's CAPM certification exam. This certificate is valid for 3 years. So far as the fees are concerned, for a member, the PMI's CAPM certification fee is USD 225. For a non-member, the fee is 300 US dollars. Additionally, you may have to buy PMBOK Guide 6th edition as well. There is a link in the description below for you to buy the PMBOK Guide on Amazon. To find more information, just use Google and YouTube. Search with keywords such as CAPM questions and answers. You will find so many websites and videos to help yourself with the preparation. But if you do not have much time left, you can just read the latest edition of the PMBOK guide. And another source of information is PMI website, and similarly there are many groups on Facebook, and also like there are links in the description below which will help you to find more information. Thank you so much for watching this video and good luck for your certification. I'll see you in my next video.